Grimes County to action. I've got the wrong, there we go. Tuesday, May the 15th, 9 a.m. We're calling the meeting to order. Item 2 on the agenda is consider and take action to certify and canvass the returns of the May 5th, 2018 House District Number 13 special election. We have with us this morning our elections administrator, Ms. Rebecca Duff. Ms. Duff, you want to walk us through what you have shared?
Good morning, voters of Grimes County. Yes, and Commissioners Court.
Let the camera scan the crowd.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm Rebecca Duff, Election Administrator, Voter Registrar for Grimes County. I'm here today to hereby certify the attached canvass report that are the true and correct election results from the special election held on May the 5th, 2018 in Grimes County, Texas, Section 87.1231 of the Texas Election Code. And y'all have in front of you a cumulative report. I do have one that's broke down, and I can get that to you or email it to you if you'd like to look at it and digest it. And we've had because this May 5th is our city and school uniform election date, and the governor calling this election on top of their elections, we take precedence over the city and school. So the city and schools therefore had to use our polling places, which are, a lot of them have their other elections, but they have elections. And then also the early voting that, you know, certified to that we could use, like Iola and VDIs. We had early voting as well, but it's all cumulative. It's all into one early voting, so it's not going to have it. But we can get that breakdown for y'all if you so desire to have it. So, as I have in front of you, the cumulative, which is the totals for how everybody voted. That's ballot by mail, in person, and election day.
Clarification.
In person and election day, same.
Since we do take precedent as the county election, did the schools and the city elections have the convenience of our super center voting where they could vote at any location that we had open?
Good question, yes, sir. I called and clarified that with the state, and yes, the super voting centers, countywide is what it's called, is presidents. So City of VDIs, Iola ISD, all came up in Plantersville, Navasota, wherever we had a polling place.
Okay, so they enjoyed that convenience also?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
The problem that we had to deal with is our election judges weren't accustomed to dealing with, say, Navasota, the city of Navasota joint, where they were in the city, out of the city, where that was a little bit of a learning curve for it. But they did very well, the majority of them did.
And all provisional ballots have been resolved?
Yes, sir, there was 10, and they all have been resolved. We had one gentleman that his house burnt down, all of his ID he did not have and had not obtained. And what he needed was a picture ID, like a driver's license. He drove himself up here, one of the clerks observed, and brought in a pill bottle to say this was what I have for identification. I called the state to clarify it. We could not use it.
Okay.
So, yes.
Okay, but other than that, I mean, that was resolution of that provisional ballot, but all 10 have been resolved?
Yes, sir. One way or
Okay.
another, yes, sir.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Duff? Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am?
We had till May the 24th to resolve any military type, and we had none that we're waiting on. So that's, if anybody has a question about military.
Your records would indicate all that were sent have been received?
Yes, sir.
Or, okay,
Yes, sir, just to
So-
kind of finish up what you asked.
there's no questions hanging out there?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, we need to take action. I would make a motion that we accept the numbers presented to us in this voting canvass of the Grimes County general election that was held on May 5th, 2018. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Duff, your election, so be it.
Thank you.
Now back to work since you got early election going on.
Plus, FYI, Richards ISD has called the county and they're having a tax rollback election in middle of June.
Really?
So that's coming up right in behind this one. Yes, sir. And then if the,
But that, just for clarification, that would only be held in the Richards
territory,
territory of their ISD?
yes.
Or, okay,
Grimes County has had voting machines go out into Montgomery County and Walker County before, because they
Right.
contract with us and away we
Right.
go, just like Navasota has Milliken. So, but this time, they have a new superintendent, and he is requesting that we do early voting on site, which is the first time ever I've ever done that. And then election day be on site as well.
so they're gonna have one location?
One location inside our territory, Grimes County, right there at their main building that sits right inside Grimes County.
Okay.
So this is a first for us on that
And
one.
they understand the security and the issues and opening hours and closing hours and everything for them to do that?
I always say this, the schools are a different breed of cats. The laws are way different that governs the schools versus us or the cities. And since they're standing alone by themselves, they call the shots. They're from 8 to noon, 8 to 12:30, for their early voting.
Mhm.
They're not gonna be open on Friday. As long as they have 8 hours of early voting a week,
Mhm.
they can do that because of their summer, hours. And then, of course, the 7 to 7. They don't even have to have extended hours, you beat. And so.
You mean on election day?
On, the extended hours on early voting.
All right, on election day, are they a 12-hour day?
Yes, sir, that's mandatory.
Okay. And I understand it's their election, but since you run the election for us, if something goes south, they're gonna blame the county.
Again, yes,
Okay, and just kinda holding up our image, so,
yes, sir, absolutely.
okay.
The monster school is Navasota, but if they ever declassify the national forest, Richard is gonna be Titanic. They're huge, their school district goes way out into both those other counties. And we will be charged to take care of their elections because their offices sit inside our boundary line. That's how that works. They would go from little bitty to gigantic.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, and I appreciate y'all, thank you very much.
I move we adjourn.
There is a motion before, I'm sorry, I thought we should have adjourned before we had that conversation. I apologize. Let the record show the judge screwed up again. Okay. There's a motion before us to adjourn.
Second.
There is a second? Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.